Alright, in this video we're going to do a more updated version of the Xmr Defender snorkel kit installation. On this particular model it's a limited, and we are going to show you how to do it and what modifications you have to do. This kit is on our website, link in the description, as well as the bracket adapter to use this snorkel kit on a limited or a Defender with a rear back window or glass. Here we go. Alright, we're putting the snorkel kit on the limited, and we're going to show you all how to do that with the OEM snorkel kit. Right, Sean? Bam! Let's get it. Alright, you go to BRP instructions.com, and then it'll ask you to enter the 10-digit code. Code's on your box, and then it will literally give you the snorkel kit and all your torque specs, all the parts included, and literally color coded step by step how to install this. So we'll get with it. We're going to remove the bed for easier access. It's going to be two 13 millimeters, one here and one here on each side. And then you're going to trace this pigtail, this wiring harness. There's going to be a clip right here. And we'll remove the pin on the hydraulic cylinder. All right. First step is replace this duckbill with the solid cap and the turnbuckle clamp. Get your new cap on and tighten your clamp. Next step, we're going to remove these vent lines off the resonator. And then there's two bolts on the inside. They're 13 millimeters. On the limited, you remove a torque screw here, two push pins, and take those two 13s out. Once those two bolts are removed, you can then peel this resonator box out. It's just held on with rubber boot. Next, we're going to install this boot that comes in the kit with one of the new hose clamps. They are 7 millimeters. It's going to go right there on top of the airbox. The boot will be orientated with your rubber mounts like this, and then the tongue and groove portion will be at the top. Just go ahead and tighten your hose clamp up. Next, we're going to install this riser straight to that boot. Give me another hose clamp. Next, we're going to remove the factory housing and pipe here, and same with this one, off the belt locks. Alright, those are off. Torque spit right here. So you're going to remove all this. You're going to reuse this piece off of here. You're going to reuse it and install it onto your two new risers. This would be this one. That factory piece we're reusing. You line it up with your grooves. And retighten that hose clamp. And go ahead and install this on the machine. Next, we're going to put this piece on, new piece, and you will reuse the hose clamp that was on it. It's larger than all the other ones. We're going to go ahead and put a zip tie on here. There's a slot in this snorkel riser to hold it to this rubber duct. So I'm just going to secure that there. Zip tie. Next, we're going to put a rubber adapter on here, and then risers up. Next, you're going to install this piece in this position, your little tongue here. Line up the notch in the plastic. All right, at this point, we're going to go ahead and remove the windshield washer fluid tank, and we'll talk about that next. You just simply pull the body. There's no security tab or anything like that, and then you just grab your container and just pick up. And we'll just set this off to the side for now. And we're going to go ahead and knock off the mount bracket too for the windshield wiper. We'll reuse that mount bracket. All right, now that we got that rubber flange on, we're going to put our risers on. We just have zip ties temporarily holding it together to make it easier for us to handle. And as far as the overlap goes, obviously that hits. So the one on the right has to go on top of the one on the left. Same over here. Doesn't quite line up. Same for the top. So throw these on. Two new hose clamps. put in torques in the washer. We can get another washer and screw and attach the snorkel to the firewall. Now next we're going to put the belt exhaust that'll blow on the exhaust pipe. We'll put it on next. We're going to use zip ties and help hold these together. All right, at this point, if you got the limited, you can resell the bracket. There are a couple other companies that sell brackets as well. If you're buying the kit from our website, just go ahead and add on your bracket. We're gonna go ahead and temporarily install it. That's there. It's pretty much right where it needs to be. You'll mark the holes that are in the bottom of the aluminum bracket. There's 4 holes. Use a scribe, a Sharpie, anything you can get in there and mark it with. Mark it. Then we'll unbolt these so that you can move the snorkels around, and we'll drill through our firewall. Don't get into the carpet. The carpet, you're going to twist it all up. All right, now I have our bracket installed to the cab, and we have the snorkels installed to the bracket. So now we're ready to put the risers on. This is where you'll use your black hose clamps that they provide. First, we're going to start with the little P-trap. Rubber couplers on each side. We're going to put the windshield washer fluid holder bracket back on. Use this little bubble. Alright, right here we had some audio issues with the video. We're going to do a voiceover to get you up to speed. So transmission vent line is going to be the black hose that I'm putting up in the Snorkel. It has a little pocket designated just for it. After you get done with your transmission vent line, you're going to have the two for the fuel tank. One is going to be the exhaust and one is going to be the intake. The exhaust you can coil up by the airbox lid, and the intake you're going to run up the inside of the roll cage by the door hinge on the passenger side. You can run it almost all the way to the roof of the machine. Next, we're going to install the vent line for the front differential. You're going to need to remove the driver's side fender, couple push pins in that hood area, and 2 Torx bits in the fender well. Right here we are showing you how to extend the front differential vent line, and you're going to run it up the roll cage where those wires you can see for the roof is running up. You're just going to shove the vent line all the way up in there with that. And then in this clip we're showing you the fan and how it has a plug on it, so there is no vent line for the fan, but it may vary model to model. But this particular fan, you can see the plug on the fan, so no vent line is required for it. We're going to reinstall the fender. Next, you can reinstall your seats for the seat and the backrest, and you can put your push pins back in your carpet. Alright, now we're to the point now we're ready to smoke test the snorkels. Went ahead and removed the risers, and in this section here I'm removing the air pressure intake sensor so we can make sure that the smoke gets all the way through the system. Alright, we turn the smoke machine on and put the bulb into the intake snorkel and go ahead and pump it up to seal it. And at this point we're waiting on the smoke to come through the sensor hole, and then we will reinstall the sensor and use the flashlight to check it for leaks. Here we are installing the sensor and using the flashlight to inspect for leaks at any of the joints, boots, or seals on the airbox, and you can see one of the leaks right there. The factory seal on the rubber boot to the airbox is leaking, so we're going to have to take the airbox off of this unit and seal it and let it dry, and then we'll reinstall and smoke test again. That was the only leak on the air intake system. Here we're going to jump straight into smoke testing the CVT box and snorkels. We're waiting on the smoke to exit out of the other snorkel, and then we'll plug it off, and we'll use our flashlight to inspect for leaks. Unfortunately, on this machine we found a leak behind the belt box, so in the next clip we're going to be removing the clutches, removing the belt box, and getting that leak sealed up. We do this quite often. It's very common even with brand new units from the factory. So keep this in mind. If you don't want to tear up your brand new machine, I would definitely advise taking it to a local repair shop and having them smoke test any machine that has any factory snorkels on it, because I can almost assure you there's going to be a leak. Alright, we got the belt box off. So this O-ring is really an issue on the Canams. Whether it be a Renegade, an Outlander, it doesn't matter. They all tend to leak right here. even brand new from the factory. I mean, this machine's never even been in the mud. He brought it straight to us for the snorkel job, so this O-ring needs to get pulled out and put a little bit of sealant on it and put it back in its groove. We'll clean the surface where the O-ring rides, and then while we have the part, we're going to go ahead and put a little bit of ultra black on that O-ring just to ensure it. You want to be very careful not to get any sealant on the crankshaft or on the crankshaft seal. You know, if you just go gooping it all up when you put the belt box on, you're going to force sealant under the lip of the crank, and then you're going to leak oil, and you're going to have to pull it all back apart and do a crankshaft seal. So we're about to do this now. We'll check back. Alright, we got the belt box back assembled and re-smoke tested the air intake and the belt CVT system. Both systems passed the smoke test, and here we are putting the bed back on and getting ready to call the customer, tell him he's ready to go. Go ahead and start it.